Hello, my name is Roy Pickering, and I will be reading an excerpt from my novel Patches of Grey for the Buzz Bookstore Excerpt Contest. Room 6C of the Bussing Motel stood in for the deserted island of Tony's imaginings. He left his worries at the door, hid out there for a blissful hour or two with Janet. But turmoil had managed to discover their hiding place. "Did you go today?" "I got as far as the parking lot. I just couldn't do it." Tony sat up and stared at a constellation of stains throughout the expanse of carpet. Some of them probably blood, others most likely vomit, the majority indeterminate. If the carpet could talk, it would no doubt have many interesting stories to tell. "Why not?" asked Janet. "I don't know." "Do you hate him?" If you'd asked me that before, I think I might have said yes. Tony paused a beat to consider what he had just said, what it meant. Yeah, I probably would have. So why should anything change now? Because it has. He's your father, the only one you've got. So when he's gone, he's gone. I know. Tony peeled a piece of plaster from the wall. He noticed a syringe lying in a corner, missed by a lackadaisical cleaning person, courtesy of the room's previous guest. I also know how I feel, and I can't just wish it away. A passing siren sounded, the urban version of a coyote on the plains. Somewhere not too far away, another tragedy had unfolded, and the usual vultures were flocking to the scene. "Can you get your parents to stop hating me?" "I don't want to talk about this again, Tony." She said this as if they had spoken considerably more on the subject than the few words Tony had been able to pry from her. Janet had come to view her family as an open wound that would close given time, but not have constantly prodded. Maybe there was sense to this way of thinking, but Tony could not help but be frightened by her silence. He wanted her to rail against him, demanded proof that she truly was different. He was ashamed of this desire, but shame is often no match for desire. "Why not?" he asked. "Don't tell me you've accepted how they feel." "I didn't say that." Janet sat up as well. She had a pretty good idea what Tony was seeking. He couldn't look at her without seeing her mother and father and brother. He needed to know for certain that she would never share their point of view, one which saw nothing beyond the color of his skin. Janet wanted to abolish his doubts, but could not, for the simple reason that she did see Tony's color. The genesis of their love was physical attraction, and his complexion had lured her the same as hers undoubtedly pulled him. It was not his blackness that she fell in love with, but it was a part of him, and therefore a part of what she loved. She wanted him to realize that there were no legitimate reasons for his fears. The hang-ups of her parents and brother had nothing to do with her. Tony was her first true love, so therefore all she knew of it. He feared that she might not love him enough, when in fact it was not possible for her to love him any stronger, or deeper, or higher or wider. Tony had created the extent to which her love could reach. If he couldn't see what should have been as recognizable as his own reflection, she could think of no way to make her feelings more plain. "They hate me because I'm black," he said, "because I put my black hands on their daughter." "Stop it!" Tony did not want to stop. He wanted to continue badgering until Janet began to see things as he did, as they should be seen. But he realized that this would only push her away, giving those who tried to deny their happiness precisely what they longed for. And so he put his anger aside, full knowing that the ceasefire was finite, that there was a limit to how long he would be able to suppress honest emotion. "You really want to talk about something else?" "That would be nice." "Okay then, how about this? I love you, Janet." "I love you too." Then what else matters? If she knew, she wasn't telling. Tony snuggled up against her and let the silence being paid for by the hour envelop them, rather than considering possible answers to his question.